When the active shooter alarm sounded, ICU nurse Isabelle Laurent was replacing an IV bag for 8-year-old heart patient Mr. Mueller. As the hospital speakers blared, Code Silver, panic erupted, with people running through the corridors. Isabelle, we need to get out of here. We should lock the doors and hide, shouted her colleague Sophia, trembling with fear. But Isabelle acted differently. She remained calm, reassured Mr. Mueller, everything will be fine, sir, and stepped into the corridor. Unlike the other nurses fleeing, she moved toward the sounds of the attackers. In the next 45 seconds, everyone at Memorial Hospital would discover who Isabelle Laurent truly was, as the sounds of automatic weapons and tactical movements were not unfamiliar to her. When she confronted the two attackers, Isabelle's demeanor shifted. Her walk changed, as if she had become an entirely different person. Welcome to Hidden Legends. Before we continue with this gripping story, please share in the comments which city you're watching from today. If you believe stories like this deserve to be told, hit the subscribe and like buttons. Isabelle Laurent, a 4-year-old ICU nurse, had worked at Memorial Hospital in Seattle for 8 years. Patients in the critical care unit adored her. She was calm, dependable, and always in the right place at the right time. Nurse Isabelle is our angel, patients would say. We feel safe with her. But Isabelle's sense of security stemmed from experiences far beyond those of a typical nurse. The ICU routine was consistent. Shifts began at 6 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m. She monitored vital signs of critical patients, administered medications, and communicated with families. Yet Isabelle's approach stood out. Other nurses found her response to emergencies peculiar. Isabelle, how do you stay so calm in crisis moments? They asked. Experience, she replied softly. Some situations can be unexpected. That experience came from a 12-year career in Delta Force, involving counterterrorism operations, hostage rescues, and classified missions with the Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta. Isabelle had served in the world's most dangerous places. Her real story began 16 years ago when she joined the Army at 18, captivated by military precision from childhood, organization, discipline, a purpose-driven life. I can achieve excellence within structure, she told her recruiter. After basic training, she underwent medical training, followed by airborne school and ranger school. Her exceptional performance caught the attention of the Special Operations Command. The Delta Force selection process was the most grueling military training. Psychological evaluations, physical endurance tests, and tactical skills assessments. Isabelle ranked among the top 10 female candidates in history. Her first assignment was in Afghanistan, counterterrorism operations, Taliban compound raids, and hostage rescue missions. Over 3 years, she completed more than 40 successful operations. Her second assignment was in Iraq, urban warfare, insurgent networks, and high-value target neutralization. Isabelle specialized in close quarters combat and medical trauma management. Her third assignment involved classified international operations, counterterrorism support, embassy security, and VIP protection. Her most dangerous and sensitive missions occurred during this period. Isabelle's Delta Force training went beyond standard military preparation. She mastered advanced combat medicine, counterterrorism tactics, hostage rescue procedures, psychological warfare, and specialized skills. A Delta operator must be versatile, said her training commander, Colonel Becker. Combat medic, tactical expert, psychological analyst, making life and death decisions under extreme pressure. Isabelle fully embraced this philosophy. She excelled in field medicine under fire, tactical medical evacuations, and combat surgery. Her medical knowledge reached military-grade levels. Her most critical training involved hostage rescue operations in civilian settings like hospitals, schools, and office buildings. Isabelle learned tactical operations in such environments. During a mission in Syria, her team rescued 15 hostages from a terrorist-held hospital. Combining her medical expertise and tactical skills, she saved 3 critical patients through surgery. After that mission, she became one of Delta Force's most valued operators. She received specialized training in multiple target engagement, handling 2 or more attackers simultaneously, a skill that would prove vital at the hospital. After 12 years of active duty, Isabelle retired, grappling with PTSD symptoms, readjustment challenges, and a desire for civilian life. She enrolled in nursing school. "Why are you leaving the military?" her Delta Force commander asked. I want to focus on healing in a peaceful environment now. A transition from combat to healing, she replied. Isabel excelled in nursing school, leveraging her advanced medical training, trauma experience, and emergency response skills. Instructors didn't probe her background. I've always wanted to work in healthcare, she said, to provide medical care to people. Critical care nursing was a perfect fit. The high-pressure ICU environment, with life and death decisions and precision demands, felt familiar. When Memorial Hospital hired her, Isabel was an exceptional nurse, a patient advocate, clinically excellent, and adept at crisis management. Yet no one knew her extraordinary background. On Sunday, the 29th of October, she was on her regular shift. The ICU had 12 patients, post-surgical recoveries, cardiac monitors, and ventilator cases, requiring routine but critical care. At 2:15 p.m., Isabel was adjusting for medication in Mr. Mueller's room, a 68-year-old cardiac patient in stable condition. Nurse Isabel, thank you for taking such good care of me, Mr. Mueller said gratefully. You're welcome, Mr. Mueller. You're recovering wonderfully, she replied with a warm smile. But Isabel noticed unusual activity in the hospital, increased security personnel movement, nervous behavior from administrative staff, and subtle tension. At 2:22 p.m., the hospital PA system activated. Code Silver. Code Silver. All personnel initiate lockdown procedures immediately. Panic swept the ICU. Nurses, patients, and families were terrified. An active shooter in the hospital was a healthcare facility's worst nightmare. Isabel, what are we going to do? Sophia asked in a panic. Calm down. Follow the protocols, Isabel replied. Internally, she was conducting an assessment, analyzing sounds, evaluating threats, and planning a tactical response. Automatic weapon fire echoed from the main floor AR. 15 pattern, sustained bursts, systematic movement. This wasn't random violence, it was an organized attack. Everyone, secure the patient rooms, lock the doors, turn off the lights, Isabel instructed the staff. But she was planning differently. Neutralize the threat, protect patients, and intervene tactically. Isabel left the ICU for the main corridor. While others hid, she moved to locate the threat. On the second floor corridor, she spotted two attackers, both in their mid-22nd, wearing black tactical gear and carrying AR-15 rifles. They moved in coordination, military style but with amateur execution. Isabel conducted an automatic threat assessment. Two attackers, moderate training, planned attack, civilian target focus. They were systematically clearing separate corridors, requiring a multiple target engagement plan. She estimated a silent approach to the first attacker, with a second's response time at 3 to 4 seconds, necessitating sequential neutralization. Isabel's movement pattern shifted entirely, a multi-target tactical approach with precise timing, coordination, and execution. The ICU nurse was gone. The Delta Force multi-target specialist emerged. She approached the attackers in the shadows, following multi-target engagement protocols: noise, discipline, sequential timing. The first attacker was in the left corridor, the second in the right, about 20 meters apart. Her tactical plan: neutralize the first silently, then engage the second rapidly before he could react. At 15 meters, Isabel employed tactical breathing, activating multi-target muscle memory. At 10 meters, she approached the first attacker, tracking the second's position. At 5 meters, she committed to sequential engagement. First sequence: silent approach, disarm, control, suppress. Delta Force muscle memory took over. She seized the first attacker's weapon, applied a silent chokehold, and suppressed consciousness in 15 seconds. The second attacker noticed the silence, turning toward her. Second sequence: rapid movement, tactical positioning, and disarmament in 20 seconds. She deflected his weapon, executed a close quarters takedown, and restrained him on the ground. Two threats neutralized, Isabel said calmly into the hospital security radio. Total operation time: 45 seconds. Two attackers, 0 casualties, professional control. The security team arrived, expecting chaos, but found an organized response. Isabel held both attackers in professional restraint positions, the situation fully under control. Ma'am, how did you handle 2 people single-handedly? Security Chief Leclerc asked in amazement. Training. Isabel replied simply. Multi-target engagement? Is everyone safe? Hospital staff began emerging from hiding. ICU nurses, doctors, patients, everyone was safe, thanks to Isabel's intervention. Sophia was stunned. Isabel, that was incredible. 2 armed attackers alone. Where did you learn this? Isabel paused, ready to reveal an 8-year secret. Military background, special operations, she said quietly. Staff gathered, listening intently. Special operations? What kind? Asked Dr. Rossi, the ICU attending physician. Delta Force, counterterrorism, hostage rescue, 12 years active duty. Silence fell. The hospital's beloved ICU nurse was an elite military warrior. Isabel, you were in Delta Force? Sophia asked in disbelief. Operational Detachment Delta Special Forces, retired 8 years ago, became a nurse. Police arrived and took the attackers into custody. Isabel's restraint techniques were flawless. No injuries, complete control. ICU patients learned of her heroics. Mr. Muller was emotional. Nurse Isabel, I knew you were special, but I had no idea you were a true hero. Mr. Muller, I'm still the same person, still your nurse, still here to care for you, she replied. ICU patient families expressed gratitude. We always felt safe with Isabel. Now we know why. Isabel resumed her nursing duties, but colleagues saw her differently, with respect and awe. How do you transition from Delta Force to nursing? Asked young nurse Elena. Both jobs are about saving lives. Different methods, same mission. Her former Delta Force teammates heard the news. Messages and calls poured in from around the world. Heard you went full operator at the hospital. Classic Laurent. Once Delta, always Delta. Glad you're safe. Retired Commander Colonel Becker called personally. Isabel, I'm proud of you. Perfect tactical response in civilian conditions. Sir, I just did what training taught us. Protect innocent lives. That's what we were trained for. Service continues in different forms. Isabel remained an ICU nurse, but took on additional roles. Crisis management consultant, staff trainer, and security advisor. Being a nurse taught me a different kind of healing, she said. Delta Force taught me tactical response. Both skills are valuable. Patient care remained her primary focus. Her military background enhanced, not replaced, her medical capabilities. Isabel combines warrior strength with healing compassion, Dr. Rossi said. The perfect combination for critical care. Young nurses look to her as a mentor. How do you stay calm during medical emergencies? Training, experience, and understanding that every life matters equally. Isabel's story is not just about heroism. It's about the evolution of a service spirit, the peaceful application of warrior skills. From Delta Force to nursing, from combat operations to patient care, from tactical response to a healing touch, always serving. The military taught me to fight. Nursing taught me to heal. The community taught me both skills are valuable. Survivors of the hospital shooting said of Isabel, real warriors don't stop fighting. They find new battles worth fighting. Her courage that day was a civilian application of Delta Force training, military expertise applied to a healthcare emergency. I'm no longer a soldier, but the warrior spirit never ends. Service continues. The mission changes. Patients will understand in the future. Protection takes many forms. So, I ask you, have you ever met veterans quietly serving in your healthcare community, their military background silently contributing to civilian care? Share in the comments. Because at Hidden Legends, we believe the greatest protectors often serve in the most healing roles. If this story moved you, share it, subscribe, and help these vital veteran stories continue. We'll see you in the next legend. And remember, the next time you meet an ICU nurse, emergency medic, or healthcare worker, they might have a military background you never knew about. True heroes change the form of their service, but their protective spirit never fades.